Hello everyone, today we're going to present to you a new research progress which will make molecular dynamic simulation of metal ions more compatible and accurate with the new water models. So over the years, the researchers have facing challenges of simulating metal ions in water models. So here this scheme shows a metal ion submerged in waters. There are interactions happening and disappearing between the ion and the waters. In the current or previous force fields, the van der Waals interaction and the charge interactions between the metal ion and water has been taken into account. However, there must be something missing that will cause the inaccuracy of the previous force fields in predicting the metal ion behavior with waters. So over the years, our current research found that the charge-induced dipoles between the point charge of the metal ion and the polarizable water oxygen are ignored or missing in the previous force field, which will cause this inaccuracy. So to mathematically describe the point charge and induced dipole interaction, we use this scheme to do explanation. The point charge will have a attacking force on the polarizable oxygen or nitrogen. It's called psi r, the red arrow, and then the polarized atom will have a counterattacking force, which is called psi prime r, back to the point charge. So as we all learn in the college physics, the psi r is proportional to 1 over r square, and the psi prime r is proportional to 1 over r cube, which is the typical behavior of dipole. And when then we multiply them together, we get the psi r, which is proportional to 1 over r fifth. And then using the integration we learned in the college calculus class, we will have the potential energy, which is proportional to 1 over r fourth. And then the coefficient will be named as C4 term, which will be used in our current research. So after knowing the mathematical basis of that charge-induced dipole interaction, then we were gonna apply that kind of C4 interaction onto the new water models. So these new water models are delivered by the paper listed below, and they are believed to perform better in a wide temperature or pressure range, and also it's more compatible with the hybrid system, which has something like ethylene diamine as ligand, shown in the right image, or something like ligand or protein in the whole simulating system. So methodologically, to generate the parameters of metal ions with the new water models, we used a scan and determine pattern. So here we scanned the hydration-free energy, which is called HFE, on the left as a function of two variables, the C4, which we just described before, and the R minimum, which is a typical parameter for the van der Waals behavior. And then we also scanned IOD, the ion-oxygen distance, as a function of C4 and R minimum. So we generated two surfaces, and those two the blue surfaces will cross over with the experimental value surface, which is basically a horizontal plane, and those crossover surfaces will generate a iso HFE line or an iso IOD line. So on that line, all the HFE are the same as the experimental value, or the IOD will be the same as experimental value. And then we project those two lines onto the xy plane and then cross them over again. So those two lines will have a crossover point, and that point will give the C4 and R minimum value we're looking for to work as a parameter for the metal ions in the new water models. And then as a result, we can finally implement these new parameters into a system. Here we use the glyoxylase as an example, which is the protein in human body to oxidize the metabolites. So here, the green commands are the thing we overrides the van der Waals behavior of zinc. It's optional because the default van der Waals parameter already implemented in the Amber software and also Amber 2 software. And the red commands are the implementation of the new water model, which is available in the Amber Tools 19 or Amber 20 software. If you're using the older version of software, we're very happy to provide the parameter file of the OPC3 water models. And after running this command, the van der Waals interactions are implemented. Then using a second software in the Amber package called Paramet, it can implement the C4 interaction between zinc and specifically the glutamate and histidine. So here the polarizability file specified the polarizability only for the water oxygen, the carboxyl oxygen, and the histidine oxygen, which matches what the picture is showing on the left. Then, by specifying this polarizability, we can successfully add the C4, and the addition result will be provided in the parameter and topology file before we start the Amber molecular dynamics simulation. So here, many values will be 0 because they have been set to 0, like we do not want the C4 between zinc and carbon, zinc and sulfur, for example, and only between zinc and nitrogen, between zinc and oxygen, there will be some C4 value showing in the final parameter files. A detailed tutorial of how to implement the C4 interaction for molecular dynamics simulation will be provided in this website. And also you're very welcome to check this paper, which shows the rundown of how we come up with the parameters for the water models and the metal ions. And thank you for watching this.